I'm balancing on the edge of the slightly ridiculous. The collector's habit, it's kicking it into high gear, and it's making me want more and more things. And with all of the sales hitting hard this time of year, it's an urge that I need to rein in. The Criterion sale. It's a big one for me, and perhaps for many of us out there. All of those movies heralded as greats by many, and coupled with that, a well-regarded boutique label that's kicking these movies out at half the price. It's tempting. You look across YouTube and you see many of the physical media channels recommending the biggest and best Criterion releases. And then the temptation hits, and it hits kind of hard. And often, we don't just visit these long-running sales just the once. We tend to dip in multiple times as more and more pickups get shown and recommendations just get thrown around. Now, what's done me, as well as the sale kicking off, I've got the consideration that I do YouTube videos. I sit and I consider what sort of content that I'd like to make, and it gives me just that little bit more justification to buy more. If I have more, then I could make this video. If I have more, then I can show my audience this. Now I do have videos in mind, ones that I can tie into these Criterion releases, so I should buy them when they're on offer, right? I'm falling down the hole. The sales have arrived. I'm trying to justify the spending and allowing myself to have that dopamine hit of ordering and gathering more and more stuff. Now I have done an order. There were titles that I did want in the sale, and I ordered them immediately. But then I'm back looking through those sale pages, and I want more. I could do a video on those movies that I've not seen. I could pay a premium to have that Criterion release to show on my channel. I could fill my shelves. But why? Why do I need this Criterion version just because there's a sale on? Now, of course, I do want to see some of these movies, but really, to see them, I don't always need the Criterion version. If I don't like the movie, have I just wasted a bunch of cash just because I got swept away in the excitement? Now, many of these movies that I've been looking at, they're freely available on streaming platforms, or you could get a cheaper Blu-ray version of it. And for an untested movie, is it worth spending that extra? Having the ultimate version when there's other options out there that you could potentially use as a testing ground? Let me know in the comments if you blind buy things just because they're in the sale, or just because of that release label, or even that it's a limited edition. And while you're in the comments, if you're enjoying the video, don't forget to click a like and a hype. Now I'm a movie fan. I love trying to discover great movies. And one of the things I watch quite often on YouTube is the Criterion closet videos. We see our favourite directors or actors in a closet full of Criterion movies. And they pick out some of their favourites, or movies that have inspired them. And these videos, they inspire me to try and dive into some of these classics. It's one of the things that gives me lists of movies that I want to try out. And this Criterion sale, after I'd done my initial order, I dived right back in and ordered another. A movie I'd not seen before, which was this, Dogfight.
Okay, Dogfight. Oh my god, Dogfight.
Dogfight is a 1991 movie starring River Phoenix and Lily Taylor. The movie, set in 1963 and before going off to fight in Vietnam, a group of teenagers play a game where they try to seduce the ugliest girl that they can find. Now, while I do look forward to giving this a watch, I think about if I'm just getting carried away and adding more to the collection than I can actually keep up with. And then, it just continued. Another YouTube video watched, and another trigger to go back to that sale. I've got to log back in before it ends, right? I dipped back into the Barnes & Noble website and started adding more things to my basket. A couple of the titles that I added, there was Some Like It Hot, which was recommended on the Criterion Closet.
Some Like It Hot.
Some Like It Hot, one of my favorites.
Some Like It Hot, directed by Billy Wilder and starring Tony Curtis, Jack Lemmon and Marilyn Monroe. The film? After two male musicians witness a mob hit, they flee the state in an all-female band disguised as women. But then, further complications set in. And The Sound of Metal.
Sound of Metal, such an incredible recent movie.
Sound of Metal stars Riz Ahmed and Olivia Cook. Punk metal drummer Ruben begins to experience hearing loss when a specialist tells him that his condition will rapidly worsen. He thinks his music career, and with it his life, is over. But I paused for thought. Both of these movies, they're readily available. The pre-owned Blu-rays, they're both at or around £5. And they're both available on streaming platforms. Currently, Amazon Prime have both of these movies. I've not seen either movie before, so the options are I could buy the Criterion 4K editions of both of them and spend $50 to own those specific editions, or I could try to view these movies another way and see if I actually like the thing first. Listening to me saying that out loud, it seems ridiculous that I consider dropping another $50 when there are options out there, the ones that are a fraction of the price, or available on platforms that I already pay for. I've already mounted up $100 in the Criterion sale. Do I need to add more from the sale when there are other retailers out there that are now busy pushing their Black Friday sales, along with all their pre-Christmas promotions? You might be watching this video and thinking that I'm crazy for considering more of these Criterion releases. But be honest with yourselves. You do it too, right? Might not be Criterion, but that new announcement of a limited edition from Arrow Video or Eureka or even Second Sight. And you've got that order in. And it's on a movie that you possibly previously weren't even aware of, or you just weren't that interested in. How many of those orders do you just make on a whim, just because it's new, or just because it's in a limited edition format? Could you have tried that movie out in another way before you made that order? I've been, or I still am, massively guilty of this. The collecting addiction with physical media is real, and it can manifest in some really strange ways. This time, I've been triggered by that Criterion sale, and of course, being coupled with Black Friday. Next time, I could be triggered by another sale, or even a YouTube recommendation. I can try and justify some of these orders, but when you boil it down, the shopping of these sales and the gathering of more and more, it's just a really bad habit that I think we all need to consider a little bit more carefully. We can only watch so much before the next thing. We only have a finite amount of space, budget, or even time to watch these things. There's absolutely no need to push to try and get everything in this sale. There's going to be more sales in the future, but the things that you think you want, do you actually want to own them? Or is your collecting habit or addiction triggered by those buzzwords of sale or must own or limited edition? Before you make an order, just have a little think about these things.